Hi guys, and welcome to this Model Engineers workshop. Today in the workshop, we're going to pick up where we left off last time, and we'll get these front cylinder covers finished. Come on, let's see what we've got to do. Hi guys, I'm the chef. Today we're going to finish off these front cylinder covers. I had to spread it over 2 videos because it just was getting way too long. So we're going to take the 2 cylinder covers and some steel, and we'll get them finished. Lots of holes to drill and tap. Come on, I'll bring you in close and we'll go through it again. Righto guys, so where we left off, 2 embryo front cylinder covers. They've all nicely been turned with the registers on them so that they fit nicely. Each one of these eventually will get 12 holes in them, even though only 10 of them are actually used. 2 of them are dummies, just to make the pattern right, because of course we've got a port in the bottom here for the drain cocks, and we've got the steam ports at the top here. So it's actually only the two groups of 5 each side that hold these on, and the other 2 are just for show. So what have we got to do? Well, we've got to take this chunk of steel, turn that nubbin off, bore it out to about 4 deep really, so that the registers fit in there. We've then got to just turn a step on the outside, part it off, flip it round in the jaws at that point, hold it, face it, and then take it out, put a saw cut in it, so we're making a large split ring that will then eventually clamp down on these, so that we've got lots of clamping force. We ain't got much surface to do it on, but we'll have lots of clamping force so we can face this off and put in at the finishing details before we then use the same ring over there on the mill on the rotary table. And we then use the rotary table to space out the hold down holes, which we'll make dimples into the steel. We'll eventually use these to make dimples into the cast iron of the block, and drill and tap those all to depth, and then we can get the front cylinder covers temporarily bolted on and have a look, see what they look like. Righto guys, I'll get this set up in the lathe and I'll bring you back. Righto guys, here we are, set up in the lathe now. That big chunk of steel's in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this lump off, put a clean face on it, and then we're going to start boring out. We're going to go out to 44, and then we'll start checking with the registers on the embryo front covers. We'll then, once they're starting to fit nicely, going to turn this down to about 55, because this is 65 at the moment, so it's got a lot of material in there. It's going to be too hard to try and use as a split ring with the chuck jaws clamping it. It's just going to have too much strength. We're then going to turn that 55 diameter. We're then going to turn it down to probably about 50, 49, 50 after that. So we end up with a step, and then we're going to part it off with a collar. So we end up with about 2 mil just to register on the 2 mil thickness, just to register onto the surface of the chuck jaws. So when we turn it around, we push it in. We're going to mark it with our number 1 jaw on a center punch, and we'll be splitting it with a hacksaw so it does clamp up. Right, so let's get this off, get this faced, and get some boring done. Here goes. There's touch off. So let's put on a cut. Start taking some steel off. There we go. Don't need to be fussy about the surface finish at the moment. All this has got to go anywhere. That's the chunk in the middle done. That was quite impressive. Right, let's just make a bit of a nice clean cut here now. So I'll use the power feed. There we go. We are there we are, off faced off. Lovely finish. Don't know what material this is, just a piece of scrap steel as far as I'm concerned. Right guys, we've got to take this out at 44. Give me a second guys, I'll change things around and I'll bring you back. Righto guys, this is the setup now. This is an insert drill. I've never used an insert drill before, as you can probably tell, it's bright and shiny. 2 new inserts in it, tiny little triangular things. We're going down with a hole already in the middle, so it doesn't need to be center cutting or anything silly like that. Right. I'm a bit nervous about this. Right, so we'll get the lathe going. Let's see, we only need to go in literally that far. We're going to be boring it out to 44 anyway. And it's 44 all the way through, even though it's a tiny little thing anyhow. All right, let's do this. Nerves to the side. Here goes. Contact. Well, we're certainly making chips. Maybe I'll just drop the speed down on that a bit. Let's go down to a C3. That's about 5. That was 700. This is now about 550. Here goes. Let's try that again. See if it gets a little bit quieter. Nope. Right. Let's go back up to the 8th, 700 RPM. Let's get it done. Drill faster is the trick. So, there we go. It got quieter when I pushed the drill a bit harder. Look at those chips. Look at that. Can you see? Yes, there you go. You can. Wow. Goodness me. And that's a 20mm hole. Look at these chips. Look at them. Can you hear that? Just held those up to the microphone. Hopefully you could hear them anyway. Right. Right, well, we'll take that drill out. And now we can start boring this out to 44 and just over 44. All right, guys. let me just reset. I'll get the boring bar in, and we'll go from there. Give us a sec. Right, so there we go. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, you can just about see. Okay. Right, camera 2 will probably be better for this session, although I wouldn't guarantee that too much. So, little boring bar in there, and we're just going to bore that depth out to that depth that we drilled to, and get it out so we can start getting close to where the register needs to be on the front cylinder covers. Right, so in a little bit, pull the tool back out, touch off, and then we work it all out from there. All right, here goes, guys. I'll show you a couple, and then I'll go and edit it out later. Here we go. There's touch off, pull back, put on a cut. In we go. Yep, there we are. We've hit the bottom. I can feel it in the lathe. Put on another cut. Righto, guys, you get the drift. I'll get this out and I'll bring you back when we get the covers to the first cover to fit. All right, back in a tick, guys. Righto, guys, there we go. That's been bored out now. So now we're going to clean this back, then get it down to 55, so it's a lot less material, so it's got a bit more spring in it. And then we're going to turn the shoulder on it, and then we're going to part it off. So three things to do. And yeah, let's get the first one going. Okay, as always, just check the lathe. Everything's free. We've changed the tool, so something has changed. So let's get a touch off and get a cut made. There's touch off. Put on a cut. There we go. That's surface finish on that. Beautiful. Right, let's have a quick check with it, because it was 65 round. Went now down to 64. We've got to get down to 55. Right, guys. I'll get that done and I'll bring you back. Righto, guys. So I've turned down the step on the ring. So this is 55. I don't know what this is. It's about 48, I think. No, it must be a bit more than that. 49. I did rebore the hole a little bit because I didn't think I'd gone deep enough. So it might part off, it might not. Either way, it doesn't matter. We're going to spin it around in the jaws anyway. Right, so now we're ready to start parting this off. So I've got that set at the right dimension. I'm just going to lock the top slide down so it doesn't move, and the saddle. There we go. And we'll get this parted off. All right, to make sure that's all clear. So things have changed. Quick check on that. We're not going to hurt anything or move anything. Right. Let's get this parted off. I've got a catcher, so I'm good. Okay, here goes. Well, didn't like that. Did it? Oh, I just lost a tip. Right, okay. Give me a second, guys. Back soon. Righto, guys. So, changed out to a different tip. Yeah, that one was totally destroyed. I had the cross feed running too fast, so I've slowed that right down. was cutting quite well until it got to there. We have knocked this piece a little bit out of skew, so we're just going to go nice and steady now. And let's see if we can get this ring parted off now. Okay, let's try this again. Here goes. Certainly not liking it now. No, it's not liking that. I'm going to hacksaw it off. All right, guys, I'll get this hacksawed off and I'll be back. Hang on, give me a few minutes. All right, guys, there we go. Hacksawed it off. Bit messed up now, but we can see it's recoverable, so I don't need to start again. So I've cleaned off the jaw faces, put the ring in up against the jaws. We're going to clean this off, thin it down a little bit more, check the bore, and then against what I'm going to call number 1 jaw, which is that one. I'll put a center punch just so we can always put it back in the same place. And then we've got to put a saw cut in it, and then this will be ready to use. Right. So let's get this mess here cleaned off, and we'll keep going. Here goes. Only going to be taking light cuts. There's touch off. Let's just go across like that. There we go. One more just to be sure. Let's have a look. Oh, still got a bit to go. A few saw marks still. Yes, there we are. We're looking better. Still got a bit of junk on the inside, but we've just got to check that bore again in a second anyway. Yeah, but that face is nice now, I think. Maybe one more, just to be sure. Right, so that's the face cleaned off. Cut the sharp edges now. Let's see if we can get rid of those. Wonder if this tool will be any good. Maybe. Right, let's just see if we can put a chamfer on that edge on the outer side of it. Here we go, this should do it. Yep. That did a nice job. Right, back over to the small boring bar. Let's just get that edge cleaned up and see how we're doing for a fit. Right, let's just do that first anyway. This will not be quite right. No, right. Let's just do a little touch off and a clean up cut. Here goes. There's touch off, I think. Yep, there we are. Right. So that's cleaned up that inner edge now. See how we're going for fit. Oh, it's a little tight. It's a little tight. Let's just take a little bit more off and we'll see how we're going. Now, of course, we only need to go down enough to clear this register. Oh, there we are. That's the one. That was 0.02 millimeter. There we are. And we've got a lovely fit on that. Right. Whew. Oh, it's all exciting stuff. Right. I'll put this in the bench vise, put a hacksaw through it. Oh, I've got to put my center dot on first. And then I'll bring you back. All right. See you in a bit, guys. Righto, guys. There you go. You can see the hacksaw cut. I just took a little bit of a file and just put my center punch in it and just raised a little burr on that. So I've filed that off. The hacksaw cut's gone all the way through. I did also take a file to the inside. Is it going to focus? Yeah, I did also take a little file to that inside edge as well, so there's no burrs there at all. So of course what we do now is, this is what I call number one jaw. So I'm going to line that center pop up with the center of there. Just very lightly. Hold that in place. There we go. Making sure it's up tight against the jaws. Put in the first of the cylinder covers, the front, and then just a little bit of a tighten up on all 3 points on the chuck. And that's going nowhere. Right. Light cuts of the order of the day. We've got to get this stub off. And there we go. And then we've got to get this thickness down to 5 mil. Right, so usual story. I'll show you one cut, guys, and then I'll bring you back when I get it down to 5 mil. So going to be a touch off and then some cutting from there. Okay, here goes. Okay. Righto, you get the drift. See you in a bit. Okay, guys, there we are. Down to 5 thick now. Just taking the edge off, put a little chamfer on that corner. So next job now is we need to put a bit of, I suppose it's decoration to make it look like a casting. So what I'm going to do, what we've got to do is we've got to turn a recess in this face. The inner diameter of the recess is 20, the outer diameter is 45, and we need to go about 1.5 mil deep. Now, just to give me a reference point, I'm just going to put a very tiny center pop in the middle, just to give me something to work from. Doesn't have to be desperately accurate, but hey, let's make it nice and pretty anyway. So I'm just going to put this in and then I'll go further and explain what I'm doing. Now, as you can see, that was tiny. That's all I want. Just going to wind the tool back in. Now, I've angled this tool so that the point is basically pointing straight at it. So my thought is, if I line that up in that cut there, where the, so there, yep. Let's not try and get that. That's it. I felt it go in. Right. So now we need to now mark a ring 20 diameter, so a radius of 10, and a ring at 45 diameter, radius of 22.5. So let's have a look. 10 radius is 1 whole turn and 123 divisions. So if I go back 1 whole turn and 123 divisions on 127, I get this down to 4 divisions, which is there. That should, he says with a smile, give me, have I got that wrong? Doesn't quite look right, does it, guys? 3 on 119. Let's try that again. Never having done anything like this before. I don't know. So there's me 0 again. So we need to come out 10 mil, don't we? Yeah. 10 mil. Right, okay. What's that going to be then? 3 and 119. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 119 off 27 is 8. Just doing the calculations in my head, guys. So that there should give us a radius of 10 mil. Have a quick look. Yeah, it does. Right. So let's just wind that clear. And we'll put in a tiny scratch. So I'm not even sure you can see that, guys. I know I can. Now, 22.5 mil to make 45 diameter is 8 whole turns plus 85, 90, 110. So almost 9 turns. We were at almost 4. So that makes 4. That makes 5, 6, 7, 8. And what did we say? 22, 84, 85, 90, 110. So I need to go to 17. There we go. So let's put in a second scratch at that. Yep, so there we go. I think you can just about see 2 scratches in there. And in there we need to take a recess of 1.5 mil. Now I'm going to do that with a new tool to the workshop. Can you see that? Yeah. Now that is like a 6 mil button on the end of there. I've just got to turn it around because it's got to come out this end and reset the tool post. So when I'm ready to do that, I'll bring you back, guys. So give us a couple of minutes. Righto, guys, change of plan. I looked at that tool and it wasn't going to do it. It wasn't going to do it at all because it was going to foul the work when we were getting right up to the outside edge. So I've got the rings on there. That's fine. You see those now? Yes, you can. And we'll just work that out on the rotary table when we get there. Once we're putting on all the holes, we can mill that out easy peasy. Right, so just a case of making do with the tools you've got, really. So I don't have something that will do that, so we'll come up with a plan B. Right, so this is now the right hand one. I've been round, made sure, yep, all those are tight. Chuck jaws. This is nice and secured in. I gave it a quick little tap with the rubber mallet just to make sure everything's flat up against the face of the jaws and everything. So I'll bring this one to the same stage, 5 thick and all clean. Rings, the centre pop and the 2 rings on there. Next time I see you, we'll be on the milling machine with the rotary table. All right, guys, see you in a bit. Righto, guys, here we go. Right hand front cylinder cover all machined up. You can see the scratches in it because we've just got to put some decoration in there, which we're going to do I go around and put all the holes in. Quite a system for those. Now, as you can see here, just over there, you can see there's the backing plate we just made. This is the 3-jaw. This is the left-hand front cylinder cover. I've got it resting on a couple of parallels, little wavy thin parallels. Now, of course, this decoration could have been turned on the lathe if I had the right tooling, but I don't. So what we're going to do is, this is a 6.5mm drill. I'm going to go down about 1.4 millimeters, because the decoration we're going to have to put in here is 1.5. And it doesn't matter if I go a little further, just be a little dimple. It'll fill up with paint, I'm sure, when we get around to painting this thing. Just to give the end mill a start. I've got a 6mm high-speed steel end mill. I think it's center cutting. I wouldn't know the difference even if I saw one, I suppose. But just to give that end mill a start. So we're then going to go down 1.5mm, which I've already set on the quill on the mill. I'm going to change out to the 6mm, just move away from that. We're just going to rotate the table around. And then we're going to plunge in with the 6mm into the dimple we've created, and then we just spin the rotary table around nice and slow and steady. We're going to fall short of the scribed lines, the scratch marks, these lines, by about 3-4 mil, because there's what, 15, 25, yeah, there's not much. And then we're going to change out to a 6mm ball nose end mill, and then we're going to mill up to the line. Simple as that. And that will just give us a nice kind of cast appearance into something that's not actually been cast, it's been machined. Right, so let's get this dimple cut and change out to a, just let me check my numbers, yep, and we'll change out to the 6mm HSS end mill after that. Here goes, guys. It's going to get noisy, Sam, it always does. Hang on. There we go, that's that bit done. Just lost my brush. Right, change out to the, let's kill that, you'll be able to hear me. Right, let's change out to the 6mm end mill, and we'll go from there. So here we go, let's, oh, that's not loose up, there we go. Right, gonna just have to drop the table down. There we go. Swap that out for the, where are you? There you go. Swap that out for the 6mm end mill. Tighten that up. Doesn't need to be cranked on too much, it's just got to hold the tool holder in place. Right, now I'll raise the table up and then I'll check to make sure you can still see that. And I'll just find my brush. I wish I knew where it had gone. Oh, it's there, I can see it. Yep, right. Right, so let's just get a touch off. That looks like it's going to be about there. Set my 0 so I can go down the 1.5 that I need to. Looks about right. There we go. Drop that away. Right, it's going to get noisy, guys. Here goes. Nice touch off. Just reset my 0. Just taking it steady because I'm plunging in. And back away, just clean up a little bit. Alright, that's about 1 millimeter now. Yep, that's 1 millimeter. 1.2, 1.4, 1.5. Right. Now, let's try using the rotary table. Make sure the locks are off. Here we go. Whee, that didn't sound nice. Nope. Right, I'll investigate that, guys. I'll bring you back. Righto, guys, you can see I've progressed a little bit. What it was the little cutter was actually trying to lift the chuck and the base plate, so I've tightened everything down even more. Just done a little cut. I also reduced the depth of cut to 0.8. I was doing 1.5. So just did a little test run off camera. So now I'm back to where we started. So I'm going to get the machine running, go back to the 1.5 and go around again. Yeah, right. This time let's hopefully, we're only taking 0.7. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go in smaller steps. I'll take 0.4 and go around, and then I'll widen this out till we get to the point where we can use the bull nose, and at that point I'll bring you back. All right, let me show you this one, guys. I'm going to go 0.4 and go in small steps now. Here goes. That's a depth of cut of 0.4. And round we go. Here we catch up. Just taking the time. Right, there we go. I'll oops, bang the camera. Right, I'll drop it down another 0.3 and I'll bring you back when I'm ready to start using the ball nose to put the rounded edges on. All right, guys, see you in a bit. Righto, guys, here we go. So I've just widened that out now, got it to the right depth. Changed out the cutter to a little, can you see that? Yes, you can, a little carbide, 6mm. Ball-nosed, oops, sorry for kicking the camera. Ball-nosed end mill, just move you back into frame, there we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm at full depth-ish, with the cutter. I'm going to move the dividing head the table, I don't know, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 this way until we start to cut. And then we're going to rotate around and keep doing that until such time as we reach the magic dimension, which means that this is 22.5 from the center. So as always, guys, it's going to get noisy. I'll do one cut with you and then I'll bring you back when I've got them both done. One thing I will point out is we're going to be rotating the table this way because, of course, the cutter is going that way. So we're going to be conventional milling, not climb milling. All right, here goes. So going to get noisy. Here goes, guys. There's a touch off, lock the table down, and round we go. Nice small steps. Take the time. Want to get a reasonable finish. You can see the shiny bit at the back where we're cutting. This is easy at the moment because, of course, we're only cutting off the corner. Once we get to a full cut, I'll be taking less on the cuts and just taking the time. Almost around now, 360 degrees, not far off. There we are, that's all the way around. That looks nice. Right, I'll keep going on that. And I'll bring you back when I've got this one and that one done, and we'll take a look at what we've got. All right, guys, see you in a bit. Righto, guys, there you go. Put those two curves in, so it's starting to look a bit more like it was as if it was a casting. Now I've just got to put 12 holes here in this periphery part now. 28 out from the center, so 56 PCD. So at 0 degrees where this one is and 180, we need to drill 4.2 and eventually tap 5 mil. In the other 10 positions, so every hole is actually 30 degrees apart, we need to drill through 5.5, so for a 5 mil bolt, and then that's what holds these front covers onto the front of the cylinder blocks. Right, so, yep, I'll do a couple of holes, do a couple of center pops and go around, and when I get all the holes in and tapped, I'll bring you back, because then this cover's got one more operation to do, but I've got to get the second, the right-hand front cylinder cover up to the same spot before I can get onto that part. All right, guys, I'll just show you a couple of these going in, a couple of these center drills anyway. It's nothing special. Here goes. So, 0 degrees. That will do. Go on to 30 degrees. Beauty of a rotary table, of course, so it's dead easy. 30 degrees. There we go. On to 60 degrees. $90 degrees. There we go, guys. You get the idea. There's no point in you watching this. Let me just move you back in the frame a little bit. Didn't realise I knocked that. Sorry. Right, I'll do these. Get all the holes in, and when I pop this one out, which is once I've got everything tapped and drilled, then I need to get the second one up to the same stage. So I'll be able to show you this in a almost finished state. We got one more operation to go after this. All right, guys. See you in a bit. Righto, guys. So quick update. Just to confuse matters, this is the right cylinder block, this is the left, but of course it's the front. So I wanted you to be able to see this. So the port face on the left-hand cylinder is up there. So as you can see, we've got these, the ports that we've put in, already drilled through, and here's the cylinder covers. So right, left. These, yeah, these are just dummy bolts just to keep the pattern looking right. Now, of course, these now need to be up and down perfectly, because as you can see here, we have the hole for the cylinder drain cock. And of course, that bolt, if it was full length, would go straight through the middle of there. So that's no good to us at all. So what we've got to do now is set this up in such a way on the rotary table, because we need to take a chunk off here. Again, using the 6mm bull nose, which is just over there, still in the mill. And we need to mill away a bit of this edge so that the steam has full access to the cylinder bore itself. And of course, when we do the rear cylinder covers, we need to do the same on the inside of those. So I'm going to get this set up in the chuck on the rotary table. Just got to think of a way of making sure we get this square to the travel of the table, so that we do 30 degrees that way, 30 degrees this way, so we get the full 60-degree sweep that the drawing requires. Got an idea for that, and yeah, I'll show you that when I get there, but not too sure, but I think I've got an idea. All right, give me a minute, guys. I'll get set up on the mill and I'll be back. Righto, guys, so here we go. Here's the system that I've come up with. One ruler, I've put the bolts in, or 2 new bolts, in from the wrong side. This ruler is butted up against them and a magnet holding it in place. 2 rulers just delicately balanced, although I believe that the magnet is actually holding them there a little bit as well. And I've got that. This is just loosely clamped into the 3-jaw here on the rotary table. And I've got those to the same reading, which I'm just going to double check. Yep, it's going to give us a close enough parallel motion on the table as is. So what I'm going to do now, tighten that up, take the rulers away, tighten the key up to hold that in place, bring it all back out using the DRO, and then we can just take out these bolts, of course. Just managed to move it all. There we go. Put it back. There we go. Should be all the same still. Yep. Yeah, close enough. Close enough anyway, that's all that matters. And then I'll get the mill in and I'll bring you back and we'll make this cut. It's 30 degrees one way, 30 degrees from that line. So 30, 30, just to put a little recess with the ball nose cutter in here. Right, okay guys, back in a tick. Righto guys, so here we go. That's the hole that had the bolt in, as is this one. You can see the threads in them. So I've turned the whole table this way, that way around, 30 degrees. So we're going to turn the machine on, make contact and go around to this hole over here. So that was the line. So we're going to go 30 this side of the line, 30 that side of the line. And then we're going to come back. Now, of course, the tool is rotating this way so that we're conventional milling, not climb milling. We're going to be turning the rotary table this way. So let's make a cut and I'll get this in. You can see the first cut. And when I get the whole thing done, I'll bring you back and show you that. Actually, I'll bring you back when I've got them both done, and then these 2 front cylinder covers are done. All right, guys, it's going to get noisy like it normally does. Here goes. All right, let's touch off, which is there. Put on a cut, just a little bit, and now we'll just go round, take our time. That's the first 30 degrees. That's the second 30 degrees. And wind back at that. Almost there. And there we go. There we go, guys. I think you can just about see that there's a little bit of cut already put on there. I'll get these two finished now, and I'll bring it back on on the workbench. All right, guys. See you in a bit. Righto, guys. So a few minutes have passed. Back to left and right, just to put things back in the right sort of order. So I'll take the right hand off, one off. You can see there's that curved milling that we've just done. That allows the steam to a bit more easy access into the cylinder itself. You can see that that's going to match up with those holes. Now, if all goes well, if I put that one in, which is in its relationship, left cylinder front, and I get this in the right kind of place, I tell you what, let me zoom you in. I can. There you go. So that's not quite vertical yet, is it? No. Well, it's close enough. There you go. You can see that with the combination of this milled away for the steam ports and that down there, there's going to be nice, easy access for steam into the cylinders. Right, so let's zoom back. There we go. Two more bits done. Right. Give me a couple of minutes, guys. I'm just going to reset and we'll bring this video to a close. It's already got long enough. All right, see you in a bit, guys. Righto, guys. Let's bring this video to a close. So, two more bits done. Starting to look really nice. They'll look really pretty when all the bolts are in. Got a few more holes to put into the cylinder blocks yet, though. So, thanks for watching, and I'll do like I normally do. If you can find it in your heart and soul, give me a like and a subscribe. That would be wonderful. It's the likes that count. So if you've got this far, please like the video. And if you've got it, please subscribe. It's the motivational factor for me to get me back out here into the workshop. All right, guys. Two more bits down. Really starting to get exciting now. The next two are going to be the rear cylinder covers. They're a bit more complicated. So I'll see you in the next video. So this is the chef saying, see you later.